turn it over to TVC Ohio lead reporter Jack Stuzinski.
Hi guys, this is for everybody. What specific areas have you guys been focusing on in the off season, in camps and practices?
You guys want to start and bring it down?
Yeah, go Randy.
Let's start.
Oh, you always. We've been focusing on we kind of rebuilding a little bit up front, but it's pretty fun to rebuild when I think we've got one of the top O-line, D linemen in the area, and Zach Ramsey down here to my left, and so just trying to find guys that can kind of surround him and support him as kind of our leader up front. So that's been a big area. In addition, we've got some young freshmen we're real excited about, and a couple of them I think they're going to be contributors. So kind of getting them used to kind of the different culture of high school football, the grind of it, and so those are those two areas right there. And I think we showed last year, we finished 4-2 in our league, kind of got things going there at the end, and we've got that was a group of sophomores, they're juniors now, and so we trying to push them. Hey, you got some experience last year, now you need to take it to the next step. So.
Are there any changes you're looking for to the scheme going into your second year?
Yeah, we've changed our scheme a little bit. I'm one of those coaches that you build a scheme based on what you got in the cupboard, right? I'd like to eat steak every night, but some nights I don't have it, you know what I mean? And so what we do have, we've got, a couple good kind of tight end bodies, and so we really wanted to put us in situation. I'm not going to go too much into our scheme, obviously, but, we wanted to get stuff where we can really get those two guys on the field, because we think that's a real strength area, Hunter Mulhern and a guy named Jacob Thacker, so we're trying to get them on the field, have a two tight end look, not necessarily double tight, but having two of those kind of bodies on the field at once.
Carl Blaylock Media, I know you talked about last year you had a lot of youth with the sophomores. How are they elevated as they flip up into upperclassmen this year?
Well, I think they've elevated in a lot of ways. 3 or 4 of them, starting in January, were there, basically every morning at 6 a.m. That's elevating when you're gonna, take that challenge on every day, and just experience. And then, I think those juniors are super excited in terms of our senior group here, and they're super excited to play with them, with this group. Yeah, just basically experience and commitment.
Coach, you're going into your second year now. How have you kind of seen this team grow from the offseason?
A lot of ways. And second year, but I've been in Vinton County for a lot of years. You know what I'm saying? So, I've seen it grow in a lot of ways. Like I just said, some of those guys that had to play a bunch last year, today, week one's not as big a deal. They've been through week one. In addition, I keep, Ramsey over here. He wrestled last year. He was one of the top heavyweights around. And so, as a football coach, you're like, he's going to be that much better. You know what I'm saying? And we've already seen it, even though he's been kind of on his way back from an injury. And then, I think Carter right here, he's kind of taken on more of a leadership role, as kind of the leader of our defensive backfield. And Gage made an interesting comment to me when we were at MacArthur before we left. And he said, I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like Carter Linder. And so having that guy as one of your leaders, that I've never met a guy that doesn't like Carter. That's a really cool thing. You know what I'm saying? And so those young guys can rally around those kind of guys.
For you three, is there any game you guys have circled on your schedule, and why?
I'll start here. Wait, repeat that. What did you say?
Any game you guys have you're excited for in this game?
So for me personally, week 10 versus Wellston, it's my birthday, senior night. I mean, it's a special game for me because I've always wanted to play on my birthday, and now I got a shot to. Yeah, yeah, on one day.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for Waterford because it's our first game to actually be on the field and get out there and play. And just because we've never really, played somebody that big, and that's really it.
I like to say Unioto because, one, we never beat them, but two, I know a lot of people that go to Unioto, and sometimes I just, want to hit them. So. If I get a chance to do it legally, then I'm going to take it. But, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
You mentioned, starting your season with Waterford. How much does starting with such an explosive quarterback like Hayden Jones really set the tone for your defense this year? And how will that prepare as you get into a TBC Ohio conference that is very deep this year?
Honestly, I like to say that it's actually pretty important that we start with some, obviously as much as you want to, have an easy win and, build confidence, it's very important with newer people to kind of get them used to high school football, and two, things aren't going to be easy in the backfield. They're gonna push us deep, and he's also gonna spread us out to the sides, with his run game and with his pass game. So it's gonna kind of keep us mentally locked in. It's gonna kind of weed out our mistakes earlier in the season, so then later in the season we're a lot more safe and sound.
Isaiah Lau with WIS, WSEO Radio. Where have you guys seen the most growth in this team over this summer? And that could be for any of you guys to answer.
I think I've seen a lot of growth up front, especially with the younger linemen. I think I've really seen them step up this year. They've been committed, working hard. They've done everything you can ever ask from them.
I think that we have a good QB, and then also we have the running backs. They've stepped up a lot. We have a freshman. He's pretty amazing.
I like to say keying into the backfield. A lot of people left from our backfield last year, so it's giving a lot of younger people and the freshmen and the sophomores, giving them a big chance to kind of step up, take a role, and it's kind of giving them a fire to want to go for it, want to go dog out for that, So I think it's. What's so funny? I think you're so jokester.
As upperclassmen, feel comfortable giving such productive roles to those younger guys?
I do. If they were anybody else, maybe not, but they work their butts off every day. Especially these incoming freshmen. They've came in every single day and done everything coaches asked them, everything you could ever want them to do. And they compete every single day with each other, with us. We've got some really special guys coming up, and I'm excited to see them when they're in this chair.
I was going to follow you on those. Fred, they're talking about it. We have an award. We call it the Ragnar Award because we're Vikings. Obviously, it's an axe, and we've got a freshman because every day you can lose it. Coaches can nominate, and this kid's had it. We got a freshman that's had it for 2.5 weeks now, and you guys will know the last name if you follow Vinton County football. He's a Hayburn. You remember Lane Hayburn? It's his little brother, so you know what it's about. Out there in Vinton County, we got a ridge that all the Hayburns live on, and they come off that ridge, play football, and then go back up there and fight with each other. So that's kind of basically. I'm just being real with you. So.